Today's Morphin Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop and Pop, which is now August the 27th to the 29th, 2021 in Atlanta, Georgia. And Ranger Stop Convention, which is now November 11th to the 14th, 2021 in Orlando, Florida. Go to rangerstop.com for more info.
It was unexpected to say the least.
And he was all alone when he turned on you?
Yes. As I recall.
Why didn't the Xenotome tell me?
The Xenotome?
This is our most powerful ally. The Ranger's powers are bestowed from this book. It is all-knowing.
There is much I need to know if I'm to help you.
Mr. Hall, how are you doing, sir?
Mr. Hall, that's my old man's name, but I'll take it. But you're the first person to call me Mr. Hall in a long time. There's no manners in New Zealand anymore. No niceties. It's just or you or Wilbur or something else. Not so nice.
You almost make it sound like all of New Zealand and the rest of Oceanus has been turned into the plot of Mad Max.
Potentially. I don't know how. Well, actually, and probably right now we're not doing it too bad in terms of COVID. I know you guys are struggling a lot more over there in the States. We've got quite a bit of freedom, so it's not quite Mad Max yet.
Or a Batman vs Superman, that finale scene you saw. Anyway.
Yeah. Have you guys just been watching the fresh cut? Have you?
Yep. I still haven't watched it yet, unfortunately. I might over the weekend. I still have to review the Transformers films with my mate.
Right. Yeah. Well, you've got a lot of viewing to do then between how many Transformers films there are in a 4-hour.
We have 4 to go.
Oh, whoa! That's
the worst 4.
Hang on, how many did they make? Are you including the 80s cartoon in this?
No, we're not including the 80s cartoon one, though I did enjoy watching it with my ex-fiance, but no, it's just the 5 movies before Bumblebee because we already reviewed that a year ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah, where do you review those ones? Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. So I'd love to know.
We might, but next month we are going to be reviewing movies based on Power Rangers Japanese counterpart's sister show because it's the 50th anniversary.
Hello, guys. Welcome to a very special interview of Calindor himself from Power Rangers Mystic Force, Will Hall. Hello, sir. How you doing?
You guys still in a cave.
You're still in a cave.
Good, thank you. Yeah, I think that's where Calindor was, stuck in a cave for years, not aging. I'm still here. I have aged though, sadly.
Yeah, I guys didn't know he did. He was basically the other gold armor that fought Daggerboy, John Tui, and Chris Graham's characters, and of course, basically Imperious.
Yeah.
The human form of
Just
Imperious.
be wary of frogs and mummies.
Yeah, beware of frogs and mummies.
Yeah,
so.
Frogs and mummies.
I was pretty happy with the helmet, the headpiece that Calindor Warrior got to wear. I think I was the only actor in New Zealand with a good enough head of hair to pull off, the hair turning into those amazing spikes that he gets.
Oh, so you actually wore a costume?
Yes.
I wore the costume, but well, no, did I? I don't know. Actually, that might be a lie. I definitely was with the costume. Because I had to morph in and out of the warrior. So the warrior was there. No, maybe I did get it on. I don't know. I've worn so many costumes in my time. I find them quite claustrophobic, and it's never a pleasant experience. But I don't think I ever saw the Imperious. But I definitely hung out with Calindor Warrior quite a bit.
Awesome.
I love the hair the Calindor had because it reminded me of Richard Dean Anderson from the 80s.
Totally. A bit of MacGyver thrown in there with a bit of maybe like a Beavis and Butthead type thing.
Yeah.
Will, can you tell us how you get started with acting?
I suppose as a kid, I just loved telling stories. That's what I loved doing. I would constantly be, putting on little shows for the family. I got to high school and I hadn't actually done any formal training, and I just got into the school play in my last year at school. I was mainly playing sports and just got into the theatre, and I think potentially the drama teacher at my high school thought I might have been there to what would the Americans say? We'd say take the piss in New Zealand, but, kind of mess around a bit. But I loved it. I fell in love with it, and from there, I just wanted to act. I did go to university, do a commerce degree at college, at university, but I eventually went over to Australia and studied acting, screen acting in particular, because screen was where my interest lay. And got cast in a New Zealand show straight out of study. Well, about 6 months out, and then Power Rangers, the Mystic Force, was only about my third professional job. I think Domino's Pizza ad, the New Zealand show called Insider's Guide to Happiness, and then straight into Power Rangers. So it was pretty cool to get Power Rangers so early on.
If I recall, you were also in Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Yeah.
Well, blinking, you'll miss me. I auditioned and got cast for a character that never made the movie, so I was there in the background of a lot of shots. I think if you pause the movie that movie's quite long, so you have to get to about the 108th minute to find me somewhere next to Kong's body.
Well, for what it's worth, I also had a blink and you miss role in a different movie in 2020. Nice. So in a way, that kind of makes you and I brothers in a way of professional development.
What was the name of your film?
It's literally called 2020. It's a parody of the movie 1917. It actually involved several other Power Ranger alumni in the film, and it was made by Stephen Lunsford, and much like the movie 1917, it tries to maintain a single tracking shot of an entire experience of hyperbole of what it's like to be in the United States during the pandemic. Between riots, the lack of toilet paper, and everything else that was happening in the month of June that year.
And was this a feature-length parody?
It's a short film, actually, but hey, I got my name in the credits, and my name is actually right underneath the Red Ranger from Dino Charge. So
oh no way!
So I got some really good real estate in terms of end credits. So
look, that is one of my favorite Red Rangers of all time too. That's the one that my 4-year-old can't stop watching. But it is quite incredible you got cut out of a one-shot movie. Like, that's an achievement in itself. One long shot coming through, and somehow they managed to cut you out. Just marvelous.
Yes.
But your name's in the film, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, man.
Yes.
Right, so what was the audition process like for Power Rangers?
Yeah, it's quite interesting actually. So I said I had a job. My first New Zealand gig went really well, and it was a critically acclaimed TV show. And we had a billboard in the middle of town, and we had I won an award for it at the New Zealand Film Awards. But Power Rangers in the audition process, that's what I really wanted, and because growing up, Power Rangers. something you watch as a kid, and I remember my proudest moment as an actor, even though we'd had the billboard with the first show, we'd won awards, was when I got a recall. When you get recalled for Power Rangers, I was living in Wellington, and you fly up to Auckland to do the second round of auditioning, and there was a bloke at the airport when I landed with my name on a placard, like the cab driver, and this just was like the coolest thing that had ever happened to me at the age of 24. It superseded everything else, the billboards, the awards. I was like, oh, there's a guy waiting for me at the airport. So that's what I remember. My one memory of the audition process, that when you got to go to Auckland, there was a guy waiting for you to pick you up, and he'd put your name on a board, and that was exciting. That was just exciting to me. I don't know, it signified some sort of meaning that they were pulling out all the stops to try and get you in the room and do the job. Now, originally, I don't know if this still happens, but Power Rangers used to be like they would film the Japanese version and the US version concurrently. Is that still happening?
Currently, yes, but I think rumor has it that they're gonna stop doing it for the next season. That's what I heard. But right now they're still doing it right now. Yeah,
well, so when this one, and very much, I think it was 2005. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's Mystic Force, and
2006. I remember it too well. 2006.
2006.
The season,
okay.
The season aired in 2006, but the Japanese version aired in 2005.
Right. So what happened there? I think it was my first time auditioning, and they had a role where they always liken the characters to famous figureheads or other actors, and they had a role for a core cast member, which was a mayor, the mayor of the city, but he's a corrupt mayor. So they were asking for Jimmy Hoffa types, / Jack Nicholson, who of course played Hoffa in the film Hoffa, and I was straight off King Kong. I've been doing King Kong, and I went and my buddy, the buddy I had on set, he worked in a video store. I went and hired, I think even at the time it was VHS, it might have been a DVD, and I hired all the Jack Nicholson films I could get my hands on, and I did my best Jack Nicholson, Jimmy Hoffa impersonation, and they loved it. And so I was put on hold for this role as the mayor. So I waited around, and that was looking good. That was core cast. And then at the last minute, of course, the Japanese change the direction of the show, and they're not going to have this mayor character anymore. He's not going to be the focus or their main villain anymore. Goodness knows how this mayor worked his way into Power Rangers Mystic Force. Because I don't know originally, but he did. That's who he was, and he became Imperious, who kind of was the main villain, wasn't he?
Secondary.
Throughout.
Secondary.
Okay. Maybe.
He was definitely the most conniving.
Most conniving. Where did the guys work in that one? The kids, were they in a fast food restaurant?
A record store.
Oh yeah, record store. Yeah, that's right. So that was based on High Fidelity. I don't know if anyone's told you that one.
Yeah.
I do remember that. That was supposed to be, the guy running the music store was supposed to be a John Cusack, and that was the feel they were going for there. And then my guy was Jimmy Hoffa, but he just got cut. No, it was a different monster. It wasn't Imperious, different monster. The whole thing gets cut by Japan, meaning I don't have a job anymore. But the director and producer obviously quite liked what I'd done. I'd done a bit of homework. I'd done my research. I'd done my best Jack Nicholson, and they were like, we have to get you in here somewhere. We just have to wait and see what monster Japan's going to create. And when they had Calindor, they went, here you go. The unfortunate thing as an actor, though, your job that was going to be, 9 months to a year becomes 1 month or maybe even less. I think I might have shot only 4 days on Mystic Force, but still, great to do it. And I'm still in the game to do more. So I actually auditioned for it this season that's currently on, and was on hold for one of the roles once again after a long absence, and really wanted to do it so bad. Wanted to do it a lot more now because I've got boys that love Power Rangers. But in the end of the day, it was one of the parents of the Rangers. So at the end of the day, it came down to casting for the kids. Obviously, casting the leads is more important than casting the parents. And once the lead characters are cast, and I don't genetically match up to any of them, I'm no longer in the running to be mum or dad.
Hey, but you still are part of Power Ranger history. That's a big deal. You're still part of it.
I am, but I desperately want to be part of its future too. So, when the producers are watching this, because I know they tune in, I know they like to see what the fans are doing. I'll put my plea out there. I've got to get back in front of them next year.
Also, I hope so. They actually make a toy of you, because if they can make a toy out of this one shot, like, no offense to this guy, but one shot,
this guy,
pumpkin wrapper.
Yeah, they can, or pumpkin wrapper. They can make a toy of you. Come on, it should be easy.
I would love to see a Calindor versus Daggerboy toy set.
How good would that be? In fact, that was going to be my question for you guys. I did go to the States. Last time I was in the States was, I think, 2013, and I was like, I should look to see if there's a Calindor toy. I made it to the big toy store, but I couldn't find one. So there hasn't been one.
Let me see. I'm actually going to do some research right now.
I'll say this, though. I am curious to see how they could have played in having Imperious be the mayor of Briarwood, because that would actually remind me of the main villain from another show called VR Troopers, where the main villain is disguised as the owner of this big company, and sometimes he wants to gentrify or pollute something, like a Captain Planet villain. And of course,
that's what it was. I think he was polluting the place.
Yeah. So I would have loved to see, that sort of character come back in Mystic Force. And yes, I'm more than open to having you play such a character.
Yeah.
So Hasbro, if you're listening,
I think you do, but it's Japanese.
The villain roles are a lot more fun than the mum and the dad.
Yeah. So I think you do have a toy, but it's Japanese. I think you do have a toy, but it's Japanese.
Oh, well, look, let's get hold of it. Let's go halves. I can retire a happy man if there's a toy out there, because I'm still carrying this thing around from Mighty Morphin, I believe. Well, no, that's got a dinosaur on it.
It's my Morphin.
Wow, it doesn't even have opposable elbows, I see.
That's like, he
just holds his arm up because he's a bit old. He can't get it down.
So, Hasbro, if you can make a toy out of this guy, only appeared in one episode.
At the very least, put him in a double pack with Daggeron.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll happily go in a pack with John Tui.
So my next question for you, Will, is what was the experience while on set on Power Rangers?
I had done, the odd commercial and a New Zealand drama series. So what blew me away when I turned up to set, the first thing you kind of do is you go and do makeup and wardrobe. Now, just the wardrobe alone, I was quite blown away by the detail, and I had all this. I was dressed a bit like a medieval knight, and I had all this leather that they'd all handmade and this incredible costuming, and I was just like, wow, because everything else I'd done was contemporary, where they just go to the local menswear store and buy some jeans and a jacket, and I had this incredible costuming that people had worked hard on. I was blown away by that. And then the makeup, they wanted to flesh my hair out a bit, and the mullet that I'm wearing isn't all my own, so they went to great lengths to add real hair to flesh the hair out, and then they actually wanted me to wear an eye patch, which I kind of freaked out about, because they wanted to cover my left eye with an eye patch, and I was like, I was a novice. I hadn't done a lot of acting, and I was thinking I'm going to be thrown off balance. And I started to think to myself, I do most of my best acting out of my left eye. How can they cover it up? But then someone said they're going for the whole, Kurt Russell, Snake from Escape from New York. They were going for that whole look. So I had the eye patch, and I'm walking around in this amazing costume. And then the set's incredible. Like, I'd never been involved in something with so much money, where they had a budget. Most things I'd done were student films and lower budget New Zealand stuff, where there was this amazing, the Power Rangers home, where it was a hollowed out tree with all the toys and gadgets. I was just walking around like a kid in a candy store looking at these sets. blown away. Out of my one eye, my one good eye. In the end, though, they did can the eye patch because Disney. It was Disney then, wasn't it?
It was Disney.
Yeah. So Disney, because you have to get on a Zoom. Well, it wouldn't have been a Zoom then, but they video linked you up. However, they did it back then, and no, Disney hated the eye patch. It made them too evil. They were like, "You're gonna frighten kids." I was like, "What? My eye patch is going to be the thing that frightens kids?" I don't think these kids are easily frightened. But anyway, they didn't want to telegraph too early on that Calindor was a bad guy, even though, I mean, that's revealed early enough. But yeah, the eye patch had to go, and I was actually quietly happy about that. Although maybe in hindsight, it'd be quite nice to see the Calindor toy maybe with the eye patch option.
Do you have any behind-the-scenes moments that were really fun in your memory in the making of Power Rangers?
I remember, I don't know how much I should delve into this, but this is always the way, when you've got something important to do the next day, you've got an important day ahead, some guy will come to you with an offer that's almost too good to refuse, and they'll be like, "Hey, so and so is going to be down here tonight. Why don't you come out and party?" And you're like, "But I've got to shoot Power Rangers the next day." I do remember deciding to go out, and I met one of my childhood heroes, another guy on TV here in New Zealand, the night before the big shooting day. So I do remember having to go to work on the day where I had a lot of big scenes to shoot, and I had been out at a party. But rewatching the episode the other day, I was like, man, I hit that well. I don't look too bad. But I was 24, so that might have something to do with it. But no, I do remember feeling a little worse for wear, and the only person that noticed on the whole set was like one of the gaffers, one of the lighting guys came up to me and was like, "I know you were out last night." And I was like, yeah, silly me. I've got like one big day on this job, but it was an offer too good to refuse. But yeah, behind the scenes, look, I remember the stunties. I remember just how incredible the Japanese crew were doing the stunts. Because we had to go in and out of the fight poses, so yeah, you've got to spend a bit of time with them. And yeah, my memories are of just this incredible set and having all these toys and costumes and things to aid to your acting that made it quite easy to perform.
Moral of the story: little boys and girls, gaffers are your friends. Gaffers are your friends, and they'll know all your secrets. They're the only ones that are attuned to go, "Hey, this guy probably didn't get the 8 hours sleep last night that he needed." Yeah, gaffers are like the barbers of the acting world. They cut your hair and they know your secrets.
Also, he had a great mullet too.
Yeah. So
look at that mullet.
Yes. Look at that glorious Richard Dean Anderson back in time.
Yeah.
Oh, glorious.
Yeah. So they were going for Kurt Russell, but it ended up being more Richard Dean Anderson. That's okay. I'll take either, or a love child of both.
Yes. So of course, Will, you've been in other projects, and one of our projects I actually used to watch when I was a kid. Yes, my parents actually watched this a lot. You were part of a series called Shortland Street.
Your parents were watching it.
Yeah.
How did they watch it?
It was like channel 20. Just funny is it was like an old cable TV in here in the US, like channel 16, and it was the Shortland Street. I'm like, oh, they would watch it. So they actually didn't remember. I was like 12 or 13 when they started watching that. I was like, ugh. But yeah, I definitely remembered your character. So tell us what.
Are you for real?
I'm serious. I'm not lying. You're like the fourth person I asked. You're like, wait, are you serious? You watched that? It's like, yeah, I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes people are surprised they've seen the show Sea Patrol.
Yeah. But yes.
Oh yeah, Sea Patrol. Yeah.
There was experience filming that medical drama.
The experience is filming that. Can I just quickly ask you how old you are, Ryan?
I am now 26.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, I would have been coming on not long after your mum and dad started watching it, probably. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's about 13 years ago. But yeah, making that was another career high. I mean, that's an institution here in New Zealand. it's a rite of passage to go and do that, and I got to go do it for 2 years. And I loved all the medical business, a bit like the Power Rangers. I loved the sets and being able to do all the business. Same on Shortland Street. The highlights for me were like being in the set that they built as our emergency department for the hospital rooms, and that's the bit that was freaking me out the most too. Before I started, I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I ended up buying all the DVDs of Scrubs. I think Scrubs was still shooting then, so I think I might have got the first 3 or 4 seasons, and I watched that, and so I based everything off. I just stole everything that what's the actor's name? The guy that played JD. I just ripped him off. But learning how to use a stethoscope, something as simple as that. Just bedside manner. I was like, where do you put your arm when you're talking to a patient? And I was fortunate enough to have a character that was a nice guy on that who went out of his way for patients less fortunate. So it was kind of a feel good factor, and I got to ride a skateboard. So I got to I've always been a terrible skater, so I got to get a skate double who made me look awesome. And I always wanted to though do the classic homage to Marty McFly in Back to the Future and grab on the back of the ambulance and roll into work one day, but they wouldn't allow me to be skating on the back of a moving vehicle, which was always a shame.
But yes, but hey, thank you for actually teaching me some medical stuff, because now I'm actually a public health guy. So
are you?
Yes, I work in public health. So
oh wow, what do you do for them? Are you nursing or doctor?
No, right now it's just data management. So
yeah. Oh sweet, I like to think I've motivated a lot of kids.
Medical science too.
Really? We're all medical men then.
Yeah.
Well, I'm health science. He's more medical.
Yeah. Crikey, I just thought we were three film buff geeky nerds all chatting.
Yeah, no. If you can
we're
tell,
medical men.
Like, look at all these stuff. Like, data.
If the 3 of us are gonna do a medical drama, I'm not against the idea. Just saying.
Yeah. I'm in.
I'll be like, hey, you can't do this as a primary prevention. Oh, okay, you're sick. Sorry, go to the hospital.
Don't understand. I need to remove that lesion from the patient's brain, and we have to do it within the next 12 hours, or else they will start to hemorrhage.
That's good. The show's writing itself.
Now, one of my favorite shows that you happen to be in, and actually one of my favorite episodes too. Tell us about your experience on the set of Spartacus.
Yeah. Spartacus was an interesting one. That was so. The other show I liked as a kid was WWF. I was right into wrestling in the 80s, and I just, when I walked onto that set, I honestly thought I'd walked back in time to a Royal Rumble between Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, because there were just these beefcakes, these dudes, and like, I've been going to the gym for years, but I haven't put on size like some of these guys, and they're all walking around in like loincloths, doing their thing. And I played a Roman, so I got to, wear a toga. But I got to wear more than the Spartans. But anyway, yeah, that was full on. The just smell of body oil and Vaseline and fake tan and just dudes' muscles everywhere was quite full on. I get killed pretty early on, so I get a flaming arrow through the eyeball. The memory there was how long it took in the makeup chair to put the rig on. Like, so I had an arrow sticking out of the eye. I'm always getting my eyes covered. I think it was the same left eye again. The one that got eye patch.
Maybe you're maybe the Dour Soldier became Calindor almost.
Potentially.
You should be like the original Nick Fury of Marvel. Like the eye patch.
Yeah, the Dour Soldier would also make a pretty sweet toy for such a one-scene wonder. He'd have the flaming arrow out the eye. But yeah, I remember I get shot in the eye, and I somersault over into a fire where we're cooking our rabbit to eat for dinner that night. And the same guy, this was pretty cool. It's like 10 years between me doing Shortland Street medical drama where I was a skateboarder and I skate into the hospital. The same stunt man that was my skate double, then was my Dower Soldier double for Spartacus. So that was pretty cool. And, we got to relive old glories and chat about what we've been up to in the 10 years between. And I remember I then had to be a dead body for another scene. So we shot all me talking, there's a lot more talking than makes the cut of the Spartacus, obviously. And then, because, Roman's just going on. And then I get shot in the eye. So pretty much all morning I'm talking and doing my roly-poly. Then all afternoon I'm a dead body when Spartacus comes up and examines me and sees my shield and which Roman army I belong to. But I'm playing the dead body, and I think some of the dudes that came on hadn't been there in the morning, that some of the Spartans and stuff, and they're coming in, and even the director who was there had forgotten that I was actually a guy, an actor. And I suppose a credit to my acting, that they just thought I was a prop. I'm getting stood on, kicked around. Like I think it was the actress playing the girl was like, holy shit, it's a person. I literally had to just lie there. And I think the director had been talking to me, telling me I could move, but I've got a one-syllable name, and I think easily confused. I think he started calling me John or Jim or something, and forgot it was Will. So I remember in hindsight hearing someone go, "You can get up now, Jim. Jim, we're done with you." And I'm just lying there. And I was like, I've got to stay dead. I don't know if they're rolling. And eventually he came and picked me up and told me I could go home. But yeah, the memory there was dead body.
Well, this wouldn't be the last time you played a Roman, and because you'll come back as someone much more significant later on as Marcus Wallius in the Netflix Roman Empire.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's quite a name, that one, Marcus Wallius.
There's a lot of Marcuses in the Roman Empire.
There's a lot of Marcuses, but I thought Wallius...
Marcus Brutus, Marcus Antonius, Marcus Wallius.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Julius Caesar's name isn't Marcus Julius.
Yeah. It might be his middle name. But I really enjoyed that job because I got to do a lot of fighting. Now, I didn't get to do a lot of talking. Normally these jobs, like Dower Soldier, Marcus Wallius, even Calindor, you are auditioning for bigger roles, and sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. And you just, and if you're lucky enough, you'll get put into a support cast role. And I was a bit gutted that I'd gone for a bigger role in Roman Empire, but I was so glad I did it and said, I'll still do it, because I got to do so many stunts. And, once again, not a lot of it makes the series, but I just hung out with the stunties on that job and learned how to fight with a sword. And I had one of the best times, and it would be one of the coolest jobs I've probably done. Just, once again, they built these amazing replica sets out in the forest, same forest where we shot Power Rangers. I don't know if you recognize the forest in Roman Empire, but it's a lot of this Woodhill forest out West Auckland, so it's a lot of the same locations. But yeah, it was magic. It was cool to just be there in the Roman getup and learning how to fight. And when you get through a fight scene and you manage not to hit the other guy or not get hit because you've ducked and dived at the right time, it's pretty satisfying.
One thing I can appreciate about you being in the episode Ides of March is that this Monday was the 2065th anniversary of that fateful day.
Well, Mike, you're a smarter man than I am. I did not know that. What day are we celebrating that?
March 15th, 44 BC, the day that 14 conspirators killed Julius Caesar. No, sorry, 12 conspirators. Part of me likes to imagine that that's where Agatha Christie got her inspiration from when she did Murder on the Orient Express. Because 12 people killed Caesar, 12 people killed the guy on the train.
Nice. Now, did you, being such a historian and knowing so much about the Roman history, did you have a problem with all the beards on screen?
A little bit, but for me, I forgave it depending on certain characters' jawlines.
Right? Yeah. Well, no, I needed the beard, but I didn't demand that I kept the beard. They just were like, we're just going to keep everyone as they look. And I was like, wow, I didn't know. I don't know a lot about the Roman history, but I didn't think anyone had a beard. Not that I could.
Now, mustaches, on the other hand.
A lot of mustaches, yeah.
I'm joking.
I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Because I legit thought everyone had a beard. Every sport had a beard. Because, 200.
Yeah.
I'm like, so get some in it.
Yeah, I think Gerard Butler changed it for everyone.
Series. Actually, my cousin actually wants to ask you this question. She asked me, what was your experience filming Westside?
The experience filming Westside, that hasn't made it to American cable TV, has it as well, that I don't know about? Mum and Dad are a fan of that one as well.
No, see, my cousin just asked me to ask you this. She actually watches it.
Oh, your cousin?
Yeah, my cousin. She's like, hey.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, Westside was great. I loved, I think for me it seems to be all about the toys, but I loved, I love retro and I love anything period. And we got the first season of that starts out in the 70s, and I got to drive a big old V8 Holden Kingswood. And like I in real life back then, I drove a tiny little Suzuki Swift. So I'm pulling up to work, and I've got to have a massive moustache for that one, and long hair. It's all blow dried up. It's huge head of hair, and pastel paisley suits with flared trousers. I'm straight from the set of Saturday Night Fever or Days Confused, and I'm playing a cop, and I get to get in the car of this V8, and I loved it. I thought it far better suited my persona and my personality as opposed to in real life having to cruise around in the little Suzuki Swift. So, I loved that. I loved getting into character for the time period that it was. I love all the music, and got to play a cop. And playing a cop, there's a reason why there's so many dramas. So many stories and films based around police stuff, because it's fun and there's a lot of drama with being a detective and all that police business. I really enjoyed, so it was positive, good experience, and then I became a stripper. Well, the character did. So I went from policeman to male stripper, which at first I found hard to stomach, but it ended up being, that would be the most memorable day I've ever had on any set. It was very liberating having to strip full nude in front of, and we did it kind of for real. There were about 40, 50 extras that day, screaming women that were very sympathetic to the fact that I hadn't really done that before. So, yeah.
Well, at least
it was a weird segue.
At least you could say with certainty that you are indeed a macho man.
Yes. Like, I asked for that song. They couldn't get the rights to Macho Man, sadly. So we had to use a New Zealand song.
We should just make a fan, legit like a YouTube song.
I think I put it up on my Vimeo page. Someone might have been unfortunate enough to
Speaking of lifestyles, the next question has to do with a little bit of my pre-COVID lifestyle. What was it like playing Corey in Nothing Trivial?
I love that show. It's on YouTube Premium right now. I'm legit watching it right now.
Sorry? You guys can't be serious. Have you you've seen these shows?
Yeah, Nothing Trivial. It's on YouTube Premium. No. Well, I watched
really?
Yeah, I'm watching Nothing Trivial right now. Shortland Street, yes, I did remember watching that. Nothing Trivial, it's actually Premium. So you do.
Yeah, this is mind blowing to me. I thought we were just making these shows for our mums and dads to watch in New Zealand. I didn't know mums and dads in America are seeing it.
Yeah, I'm serious. No.
You'd be amazed what shows Americans suddenly develop an interest in. I'm still surprised that I've seen so many Australian, Kiwi, and even UK shows. Like how many people have seen the show Come Fly With Me?
Yeah. That was the comedy, right?
Yeah. It was the comedy with Matt Lucas. I'm sad it only had 6 episodes, but I love the racist leader of the TSA where he keeps confiscating people for being an illegal immigrant, even though half of the people he detains are UK citizens.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So Corey.
Yeah.
So Corey.
Yeah, Corey. Look, I love doing Corey. I said how much I enjoyed Shortland Street and being the good guy and the nice guy, that's really good and all. But as Corey, I got to be the antagonist and kind of just be there to wind up the lead actors, the main five in the pub, and based around pub quiz. And I just got to play that character that says the things that me as a person and most of us never are able to say to people, because you don't want to be a dick, or you've got a bit of emotional intelligence. Like, this guy had none, and he just said whatever he liked. So look, it was fun to play that character that got to wind people up, because that's not really anything I've ever got to partake in day-to-day life. Well, I like to think I don't anyway. Maybe I do, but he was, a little bit naughty, I guess, and he ended up getting naked too. So recurring theme. I was lucky to escape it on Spartacus, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest though. I love the character of Corey as as antagonistic as he is, because he made that show more relatable, because every pub trivia contest, no matter what pub you go to, always has a Corey. There's always a Corey.
Totally. And sometimes every table at a pub quiz has a Corey. And you're like, oh, I wish that guy would shut up. I get it. He knows all the answers, but come on, mate. Because people just get uber competitive. And when they know something at a pub quiz, man, that's like, they've just won a gold medal.
Sometimes you just got to say, oi, mate, it's just a game. Relax.
Yeah.
Have a hot wing.
Have a hot wing. Yeah, I've got a mate of mine that I sometimes, the ponderous puzzle section.
Oh, yes.
And they have at the end of each round, and they give you clues, and they slowly feed you more and more obvious clues. And one week it was like, which beetle am I? Or that was one of the easier ones. And we're like, we had answered it at round 3, and at round 7 he was still trying to work it out. It's Lennon, and we're going, mate, we got this like 5 rounds ago. It's over an hour, but he's another good character to have at a pub quiz.
Yeah, one time my team lost a trivia contest because we actually had a Beatles related question, and the question was, who was the best drummer in the Beatles? And the leader of our team kept saying Ringo. I'm like, no, it's Peter, because Peter Best.
Yeah. Yes, of course. I remember that one of the Beatles famously said, oh, who's the best? When someone said, who's the best musician in the Beatles? And someone said Ringo, and he said, he's not even the best drummer in the Beatles. So I thought,
right. It was an interview with Paul McCartney. He was asked, is Ringo the best drummer in the world? He says, no, he's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Which isn't a bad title to have.
Even when I talk about the band Kiss, and people keep arguing who's the best drummer in Kiss. Is it Peter Criss? Is it Eric Carr? Is it Eric Singer? And I say, Peter's the best drummer. Oh wait, we're talking about you're talking about Kiss. I thought we were talking about the Beatles.
What is your advice to any aspiring actor or actress that want to be in the industry, or want to be an actor?
Look, my go-to line for this some days is just don't. Just go medical, man. Follow these two into the medical realm. But look, if it's a tough road, like honestly, it can be destroying to shatter your confidence, shatter a lot of hopes and dreams. But if that's what you want, and if that's ultimately what you want to do, then go for it and go as hard and as fast as you can. And it's a bit like COVID: go hard, go fast, go early, man. That's been New Zealand's motto. But I did go to university before pursuing that dream, just to have something and a safety net. And ironically, I only just finished that safety net. I went back to uni during COVID, during lockdown last year. So I've now actually just got my safety net like 22 years later than what I was supposed to have it. But look, I am waffling, but what should you do? You should just do as much as you can, make as much as you can, practice being on screen if that's what you want to do. Get involved in theatre, just be a sponge, soak up as much information as you can, maybe watch these podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts still about acting. I'm listening to them all the time, constantly learning. I mean, a lot of jobs you never stop learning, but especially acting, you're never gonna perfect it and get on top of it. You got to constantly keep reinventing and trying new things, and just be a storyteller. Like, make your own work, write your own stuff, collaborate with other people, and then ultimately get a good agent. They don't even have to be the best agent, but get one that you have a good rapport with, a good relationship with, who can start getting you in the room. Just be a good person. Don't piss people off, and just get the truth. It's all about the truth for me. Like, I don't care. I'm not. Some people are big on, oh, did you see that actor? They've completely changed what they've done in this role, and they're completely unrecognizable. All I care about is if I believe them and they're honest, and that's for me. And that's one of the hardest things to find, is just honesty. And yeah, I mean, I've waffled for far too long. Maybe that resonated with someone. I don't know, but yeah, if it's what you want to do, just fight for it.
That's right. Advice here from the man, the legend here. Okay.
Within the confines of non-disclosure agreements, what upcoming projects that you are working on that you would like to share with us, if there are any?
Yeah, so like I said before, I did spend a lot of last year's lockdown waiting to hear about Power Rangers. I didn't get it. I know they're doing a dinosaur theme again. One of my good buddies got the role. So we can talk about his upcoming work. So he's going to be on that. I actually stepped away from acting last year to go back to university. So I took time off. So I don't think there's anything. I'm just going out. I'm only just getting back into it in the last kind of 6 weeks. I'm going back and I'm auditioning for things. There's a couple of projects that are shooting in New Zealand and in Australia that I'm being able to, American things that I've put some tapes down for. So I'm just waiting to hear. There's nothing to report yet. Look, I'm hopeful of getting back into the Power Rangers world, because I just really want to, for the sake of my kids. My 4-year-old is absolutely addicted. As a 4-year-old, I didn't get a chance to watch Power Rangers because some people, your guests have probably told you this from this side of the world, but the New Zealand Mothers Committee, or whoever they were, the mums of New Zealand, got Power Rangers banned. Have people talked about that before?
Yeah,
I remember that. I think it was because the word morphin looked too similar to the word morphine.
Oh, really?
No, it was.
No. This was back in the 90s.
No. It was in the U.S., but here in New Zealand, a lot of our New Zealand guests said, like, because it's too violent. That's what they.
Too violent.
Yeah, the morphine was in the U.S.
So but I did wonder why only the early season was called Morphin, and then they dropped that. That's always confused me, but now I know it's morphine. But the mums got it banned because they thought that Power Rangers was responsible for kids fighting in the playgrounds at schools, but they still let us watch the Ultimate Warrior beat the crap out of Jake the Snake. So I never quite went along with that. But so what I'm saying is, my kid, 2 of them, 4 and 2, 3 and 5, love it, and I would love to now go into it, because it's hard for me to show them Mystic Force. It's a little bit dated for their taste. Although they do love the Morphin, the original, for some reason that really resonates with them. They now like the modern ones. They don't want, I can't convince them that Calindor is nearly as cool as the modern bad guy. So I'd love to do it so I can do something that they can watch, because most of the other things I've done are things you probably don't want to show kids. Yeah, they don't want to see Dad take his clothes off.
Oi, Hasbro, if you're watching this, renew your contract with Toei, adapt Q Ranger, and hire this gentleman to play the Violet Dragon Ranger.
Yes, if I could get in some sort of Ranger.
Because the mustache.
You're just making my toy. Making my toy. I'll buy it. Legit. There's legit a villains line. I'm like, why not make you? You're legit one of the main villains. Technically, you were one of the main villains. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to ask you guys. Can I ask you guys a question?
Yes.
What you thought of Calindor then becoming Imperious?
Oh,
Did that make sense to you when you were younger, or?
Actually, yes, it did. Because keep in mind, I love Harry Potter. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. So I'll say this: not being biased, guys. I told you before and when I was here, Mystic Force is my favorite Disney season because why? Magic, sorcerers, and stuff like that. Because I'm into that stuff. I love fantasy. That's why I like Lord of the Rings. I'm into that. I kind of was surprised. Well, not shocked because technically your costume looked evil. I'm like, wait, I have a feeling this guy is gonna betray something. And then I was right. Like I knew it. But that was the way I feels like, okay, I didn't expect you to be Imperious, but I knew that you were going to be bad. But I didn't expect you were Imperious. That was actually one of the best shocking reveals I ever saw.
Yeah.
For me, when Mystic Force was on TV, I unfortunately was not able to watch the episodes in order. So I saw the episodes where Daggeron was already in the team before I saw the episode where they introduced Calindor. And because they're out of order, to my perspective, they just keep introducing characters left and right with no rhyme or reason. So then they introduce Calindor, and he says, I was betrayed by Daggeron. I'm thinking, wait, hold on. What's going on here? I thought Daggeron was the good guy. What's going on? Yeah. But then I'm thinking, how interesting would it be to see an alternate story if Calindor was telling the truth and Daggeron was indeed the bad guy and Calindor was the good guy? Because there was this other show that was on TV a few years earlier called Shortland Showdown where there's this one I apologize, my dog is barking in the background. So there was this one a good character from an ancient war, and the main villain he used to be best friends with this character. And basically when the main character I apologize, is the dog too loud? So the main character, he wants to go back in time to stop the main villain from becoming evil, but what ended up happening is his best friend, the one who remained a good guy, became evil, and things became a lot worse. So I'm thinking, imagine if Daggeron was more evil than Calindor, and somehow that made things worse than if Calindor was the villain.
Yeah. Look, I don't know why you're not on the writing table. That's what I want to know. I mean, you should be there writing stuff.
I mean, I'll say this. I can say this a lot. So I'm part of Luminerity. I actually kind of work for them. I write too. This is my part-time gig. We are doing some kind of little project. I won't say what. That maybe involves some Power Ranger stuff. That's all I'm saying. You never know. Maybe I might make an appearance. We'll see.
Look, yeah, I'm there, man. And I've got John Tui on speed dial too. If you need Daggeron too, let's do it.
Brandon, are you watching this? Because that's his manager right now for cons. Actually, yeah, you should come to cons. You should. Technically, yeah, you, Chris, legit get the trio back for a convention. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Three Mystic Force nights. That'd be kind of cool. So,
I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Mikey and Brandon.
COVID out of the way.
Scott, are you watching this?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. All right, so now we go to the fan questions. Thank you guys for waiting. And Will, do you want to say hi to the Power Ranger fans? I actually want to say hi to you. Well, comment-wise.
Oh, g'day.
Yes. So Aaron Gelb says, greetings from Argentina. Eric Mish says, greetings from Mumbai, India. Cameron Lefson says, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Let's look for a question. What was the best part of being part of Power Rangers family? Mike Wish. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. The best part, I think I've probably covered it. Look, just the whole package, really. You know, you're looked after. You know, there's as an actor in New Zealand, you're used to doing a lot of things as favors. A lot of things are on a small budget, but you're working with a team of professionals who are all getting paid, and you're able to do your work. Like I said, the costuming, the sets, everything's world class, and you get to tell stories. It's just all about, at the end of the day, telling stories that now, well, my kids love all the ones apart from the one I'm in, but that have stood the test of time. Kids are still watching these, and it's great to be part of that history.
Even adults like us.
Even adults. Oh yeah. Look, to be fair, I've got my favorite too because I'm watching all of them with them. Big fan of the one you mentioned earlier, the dino, the Red Ranger Dino, where they all worked in the dinosaur cafe.
Oh, Dino Charge. Yes, I'm actually good friends.
Dino Charge.
Yeah, I'm actually good friends with the Ranger, Brennan. So I mean,
yeah.
Only way
is Brendan the Hawaiian guy?
I think he's Hispanic. He's Hispanic.
Hispanic, but he's the guy that can't speak English at the start.
Oh, that's the Blue Ranger, the caveman.
Oh, that's the Blue Ranger, right?
That's Yoshi. He's Indonesian, so.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I just thought they were a cool bunch of Rangers. Like, I just thought they were a cool group, good rapport, good actors.
Mm-hmm. I actually like Dino Charge too. Especially Purple Ranger. It's funny is too like they actually have the oldest Purple Ranger, oldest Power Ranger in history. Like he was 71 years old when he started.
Was he really? The actor?
For one episode. But he gave his powers to their mentor, the girl, the manager of their musium. So now she became Purple Ranger.
Oh, okay, so she became one. Yeah, I'm not up to that bit yet.
Yeah, she became Purple Ranger.
Spoiler alert.
Whoops! Come on, you should have known. He was wearing purple shirt. It's obvious. Oops, my bad. Sorry, New Zealand. Anyway, let's see the next. Big question. How was it like working with Peter Rudder, John Tilley, Antonio Pebble, and Nick Sampson? Oh,
brilliant. Well, I know them all well. Antonia, I've done a lot of work with. So we did 4 seasons of Westside together just recently. So that's great. John Tui, see him at the gym. He's going great guns. He's working his butt off. Doing all the cool projects. Just did the Young Rock in Sydney, the Dwayne Johnson story, and of course a bit of the Han Solo and stuff like that. I mean, they were all great. And Nick Sampson there's a show, Brokerwood Mysteries here, that he's the main one of the 3 lead detectives on. And Peter was just lovely. She was a fine actress, and actually sadly passed away a few years back. But yeah, she was magic to work with. Just really giving and caring, and probably looked after me on that day that I was a little bit more tired than I should have been.
Yeah, I interviewed John and Chris. They all said the same thing, that Peter was an angel to work with. So.
Yeah, just incredible, and really lovely performance actually. Like, really, I think I don't know fantasy that well. Not like a huge fan like you are, Ryan, but I feel like she really nailed that the energy that required out of that role.
Yes. So let's see. Timmy Dakis. Why didn't you voice the person since Calindor was him? You can't explain it. Since how would you sound if you did him? Okay. Well,
I was going to do him, and obviously, once again, it came down to the Japanese design of the character, because they used him first and shot all those scenes. So they actually use a lot of the scenes, the fight scenes, or Imperious with his what did he have? He had a fan that he shot lasers out of. Yeah, all those special effects came from Japan. So there was a look already attached to Imperious, and I'd done my Calindor voice and I'd shot my scenes, and then they said, right, now you become Imperious, we want you to put a tape down, and I did it in the similar voice. And we went, no, okay, we can't have that. We need a more feminine. They wanted more theatrical, more kind of camp, and so it's something I'd never done, and so I did. I had to find a voice and find a character, and I worked damn hard to try and convince them, and at the end of the day, it wasn't quite. They wanted an older sound, so I know the actor that voiced him, and he was like a bit of a mentor. He'd directed me and stuff. So he maybe 20, 30 years older than me, and just had that. He had a great voice. I mean, he'd be one of the one of the better voiced monsters I think I can think of in Power Rangers. Stuart Deviney, I think he was perfect. But yeah, I was given a shot at doing it, but yeah, at the end of the day, it wasn't quite right. And it was pretty cool to turn into Stuart Deviney because he was kind of at that stage, one of my kind of notable acting heroes here in New Zealand. I thought he was brilliant. Mm-hmm. Well, as much as I wanted the money and to remain being Imperious, I thought if I'm going to morph into someone, he was a pretty cool voice.
Mm-hmm. Hey, but you did have an armor too. You had a gold armor, and now technically you have a freaking badass evil armor. So
honestly, I kind of like how Imperious sounds different from Calindor because Calindor sounds so brave, deep, and heroic, which is what you expect a knight to be. But Imperious, he's more conniving and slimy voice. It's like, how could you call yourself a man of honor if you're always letting your enemy go? Because this is who I'm pretending to be. This is who I really am.
Yeah. I mean, I keep hold of this is who I'm pretending to be. I like it. Yeah, all the masks. That's what's happening with all these, comic books, superhero things. But I still have probably somewhere in my archives. I keep a lot of my notes on characters, and I probably still got somewhere the audition scene for Imperious when Calindor turns into it, Imperious, and I went to town on that script and wrote so many notes and beated it all out because you're doing it in a voice booth. And it'd be interesting to go find that and see what I'd written way back then when I was 20, 24, 25. But yeah, it was cool. But I haven't actually been in the booth and done any other monsters over the years. It'd be nice to put my name forward for that too, because I know a lot of actors that do it and they really enjoy it.
My cousin says we need you to come to US for a convention. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm there. First flight out of here when they finally open the borders.
The triple night.
We'll have to
reunion, man. Triple nights. You have you, John, Chris. The triple nights.
Yep. If we can coincide it with a Lakers or a Rams game, or even the Anaheim Ducks, I'm up for anything.
Screw you. Bye-bye. I'm out.
See, we are part of the Los Angeles Kings dynasty.
Right. Yeah.
We're not part of the Duck flock.
I thought that the Ducks would have a less movie buffs though, being named after a Disney film.
I mean, yeah, hey, it's okay. Usually you're a Laker fan. You think you're not a Clippers fan. Screwed up. Anyway, so
and Rams.
Rams are cool. And don't worry, guys. Hey, heck, the Super Bowl's here next year. I forgot. Super Bowl's in LA next year.
Oh, is it really? Well, let's do it. I'm over the Super Bowl then.
Yep. Hopefully soon. Let's see. Favorite thing about Calindor? I kind of know what it is.
I haven't stopped talking about the favorite thing. The mullet probably. Let's go mullet. You know what happened is I actually, so it wasn't all me. They had to add a few extra bits, and it was clip-on hair, real hair, and it was just before Christmas we were shooting, so I was heading back to my hometown, and I'm sure it's the same in the US. You have the big Christmas Eve, you go out and have a few drinks, and you catch up with all your buddies from high school, and I was like, can I just leave the mullet in? And they were like, why? And I was like, well, I'm going out for Christmas Eve drinks, and this is like the sweetest my hair has ever looked, and I think they're gonna love it. And she's like, they are only clipped on, they'll probably start coming out. But she let me get on a flight down to my hometown, and I went out with this faux Calindor mullet on, and slowly as the night went on, hair just kept falling out and going everywhere.
Yes. But hey, but look at that. Look at that sexy ass hair.
Yeah, not on mine.
LA again, Hasbro. Make a toy. Come on, it looks so bad. Make a toy.
Yes. Yeah, actually make a toy of that gold armor Calindor with that knight form of Daggeron, with the sun crown.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Or make a 3-pack, with the flame version of Leonbo.
What color ranger would you be?
Look, my 4-year-old keeps changing. I can't keep up with them. I don't know. Like, I don't think I go red because I don't want to be the guy left in charge at the end of the day. When we did the Mystic Force, look, I thought my buddy in the green was pretty cool because we had the Blue Ranger was a girl in Mystic Force.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll go green once again in Dino Charge. I think the actor portraying the Green Ranger, I think he's a brilliant actor. I don't know his name. Sorry, but
Michael Tapper.
Yeah. So I don't know. Is the green guy generally a little bit geeky?
He's not geeky. He's more like intelligent. Like
intelligent.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can play the smart one though. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I just have to be the black one, or the silver, or the gold.
The ladies' man. Technically, the ladies'
man.
Yeah.
The ladies' man. We'll go there.
So Shelby, let's cut to the chase.
Yeah, cut to the chase.
Well, you know who else was good? Who I'd probably be over any Ranger, or that's not the question. No, yeah. Let's stick with one of the periphery colors. I don't know. I don't think I can go primary color.
So let's see. Loved you in Spartacus. All right. Kevin says go Rams. Yes.
Go Rams.
He's also a Laker fan, Kevin. So Kent Brown.
How good was that lockdown basketball? Did you love that? The having everyone in Disney bubble. Yeah, how good was that?
Honestly, it was weird for me because I'm used to fans, but I'm like, who cares? Like, Lakers won, so I'm like, who cares? I did it.
Yeah, but I just feel like some of those players really excelled, all just being in Disney World with no place to go, but focus on basketball.
Well, I mean, it was the ultimate mental test. Like, I mean, like, show the Lakers did pass because mentally, you had to be mentally for playoffs. Like, the Bucks didn't do it well. The Clippers choked. And then, even look at the Miami Heat. They were not even supposed to make it to the finals, but they were meant to.
No, they were huge. And Denver Nuggets. I mean, they were like they need to go back to Florida and back to Disney World, obviously.
Yeah. Let's see, but hopefully we win this year again, back to back. Let's hope. Cam Brown's asking. I asked all our Mystic Force guests this question. What was PETA like? Was that the only time you worked? Okay. Oh, yeah.
It was the only time I'd worked with her, but my fondest memories are of PETA because I had most to do with her, and I hung out with her, and crikey, I think I even saw her at the callbacks. So when I was still trying to be the mayor, she was already there. So her role was obviously followed through. So yeah, I met her at the callback auditions, and she was just lovely. Lovely person, can't say enough quality things about her. Just made me welcome, because when you're coming in as a guest role too, you're really hoping that the core cast are gonna be welcoming, because you've got to come in and it's already a well-oiled machine. You're just jumping on the conveyor belt, and it's pretty fast turnaround. So it helps to be welcomed in by a nice, generous actress like PETA.
Let's see. I'll do a few more questions, guys. Did you keep the mummy statue to show at the cave? The mummy statue. Oh yeah, you were a mummy.
Oh no, I'm still in the cave. All I've got is what do you call an ice bucket in the States? The chili bin.
Oh yes, the ice bucket challenge.
I've got the ice bucket, and I've got a map actually. That's quite cool. It might be
Oh shoot! That's from the show. Oh, dude, that's from the show. Oh my god! Hey guys, look at it.
That's the way out, Calindor.
Oh shoot!
That's the way out of the cave.
Let's see.
I've just got the garage door coming up.
No worries. Guys.
Well, at least now you have a way out of the cave.
Your new way out of the cave.
So. Here's New Zealand.
Oh.
The camera froze.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Oh, there you go. New Zealand there.
Are we okay?
Beautiful. We see it. Beautiful.
This moment right now feels like one of those things you gotta appreciate about geography.
Yes.
It's nighttime here, daytime there. It's almost spring here. It's almost autumn there. Hi, kids.
Hey guys. Hi, kids.
Can you do your best Power Rangers pose? Can you do Power Rangers pose?
Power Rangers pose? I know you like my friend here. Let me see if I can find him. You like I'm good friends with him. Oh, man.
I sadly would have to go to the other room to get my Power Ranger stuff.
I know you like him. I know. I'm actually friends with this guy.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look, that's a Dino. That's a Dino Ranger. Dino Charge. How cool's that? Did you see it up there? You got the wrong guy.
Oh, it's Iron Man!
Iron Man! Yeah.
Like Iron Man?
Oh, I've got a...
Iron Man.
I don't know. Are you listening to the gentleman from the other side of the world?
Alright, let's do one more, guys.
Yeah. Oh, that was nice.
Nice. This is a good one.
I think.
This will be the last one because I actually have to eat. Do you ever got to wear Ancient Warrior?
Did you ever?
Your suit. So did you ever wear the suit? Oh, I think you did.
Yeah,
answer.
you know,
I hear you.
I feel like I did, but I don't want to go on I don't want to go under oath and say I did because I actually can't remember. Okay, there's the VA. Yeah, I don't know. I think so, but it was definitely there. It was there in the forest when I shot a scene in the forest where I appear to the Rangers for the first time, and I had a pretty incredible stunt double in the suit who just did those kicks. And you know, I may or may not have added it to my show reel to make a potential producer in the future think that was me doing those high kicks.
I see. And that's pretty much it. Oh! one more. It's actually good. If your kids watch Mystic Force, I wonder if they know that Calindor is you.
No. Freddie, did you know that I was Calindor in Power Rangers?
Yeah, Dad's was in Power Rangers.
No, he had no idea.
Don't worry. When they grow up, they'll know. You're actually one of 3 Night Warriors. What's funny is I was actually talking to John's manager. He's like, "Oh shoot, yeah, someone said hi." So Brandon, there you go.
You know, I remember there was one joke. I can't remember if it's a true story, but Hayden Christensen's wife doesn't want their kids to find out that he played Anakin Skywalker because of one of the movies. So I wonder, do your kids not know because you don't want them to find out that you turn into an evil mummy?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the next time Power Rangers gives me a gig, it's got to be something credible to the kids, so the kids are like, "Oh, cool with me," and can talk about what I'm doing. But yeah, look, they know that I'm doing this, and it's about Power Rangers, and that's the reason we watched some Power Rangers today. So they're pretty excited that we're having this conversation now.
Yeah, I still say, Hasbro, please adapt Q Ranger, get redo your license with Toei, and have this guy right here play the Purple Ranger in Q Ranger.
Or
let's go. Yeah, yep. And once again, good soundbite, right? Perfect.
Yeah. You know, you don't have to do a voice of a dragon character. You could just wear that beautiful trench coat, keep that beautiful mustache of yours, and strut around with that dragon cane, and then put on your purple suit. Still got a cane.
Yeah. And look, if some other actor like Davini wants to voice me, I'm okay with that too. I can just be the body.
Or make a toy. I'll actually buy you, like your friend pal John here. So.
Oh yeah. Doggy Kruger was in that season in the Japanese version.
Oh really? So Doggy Kruger, yeah.
Yes, SPD.
Did John do that role before he did?
Yeah, so he was.
Yeah. I think I auditioned for that too. I think I was on hold for the role of Piggy.
Ah.
Piggy.
Piggy, the guy.
Was there a Piggy in it?
He's the rich. Well, technically, he was the alien that
he goes from poor to rich, back to poor.
Yeah, that was his character arc.
Yeah, I really bombed the audition.
Slime.
I bombed the audition. I remember the guy, the American producer, just like throwing me out of the room because I'd done a few snorts, and he's like, "The guy's not a pig.
Technically,
he just resembles one." So yeah, is he a pig?
Yeah, he's a pig.
In the end, he was a
He's
pig.
a space pig.
He was a space pig.
Well, yeah, in the initial stages, he was like, "This guy is not a pig. He just looks like one."
Yeah, no
Yeah,
worries.
I love how the Rangers in that season would always bribe him with the most putrid of delicacies, like these rotten eggs that are over a month old. It's like, think they'd make some great omelets?
Oh my god.
No, wait, it was that rhino monster from episode 5.
Yeah. All right. Oh,
You can't turn me into slime, though.
and that's it. Oh, okay, so one last one. Stay safe, and yeah, we will. We will, Parrotmish. So this is much it, guys. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for like the 20 viewers who watched this. Thank you for introduction of Will Hall back in the Ranger community again. Hopefully, Michael, if you're watching this, Michael or Scott Zillner, hope in the future get him to conventions so you can see his two bros again. Well, the trio. So
let's go. Yeah,
Night Trio. We're calling you guys the Mystic Force, the Mystic Knight Trio.
Yep.
That's it. So, all right, guys. Before I leave, Will, where can I find you in social media? Or do you have any?
Oh, social media, yes. Well, I'm WillHall26 on Instagram, so at WillHall26. Twitter I hardly use, but I believe I'm William Ross Hall, and it's a picture of Calindor. And Facebook, Will Hall. That's me. There's a few of me, but look for the one with the mullet, I suppose.
Yes. And where can I find you, my partner?
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BelkinKabuto, and you can find me on Instagram at chrono_justice_cosplay.
You can find me on Instagram, DancerBoy247, or please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. This is Morphin Network, and yeah, say goodbye, guys. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Today's Morphin Network video is brought to you by Karson's Korner. Karson's Korner is a black LGBTQ owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises. These franchises include King of the Hill, Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and of course, most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at www.carsonscorner.com.